The Garden Report is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hey, Parlay Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report after a memorable one here. A comeback win for the Celtics in overtime, 127-120. Headlined by Jayson Tatum, willed by Jayson Tatum, frankly, scoring 20 points over a 9-minute stretch on a 32-16 Celtics run to force overtime after taking a lead late in regulation and then blowing away the Timberwolves in that overtime period. Inside, out, got a good look off for the win too from mid-range. Felt like he could get anything he wanted after a 2-for-7 start in this one. Tatum finished 11 for 19 for the rest of the game. Able to break open this Timberwolves defense that frustrated, kept the Celtics outside the paint, settling at different points. Their offense looked flattened out by Minnesota's perimeter defense and switching at points in this game, even without Rudy Gobert out there. Into the third quarter, the Celtics were shooting 39%, just starving for offense when Tatum put his head down with about 4 minutes to go, trailing by 9 after a big burst from Anthony Edwards as well as Karl Anthony Towns, and getting to the rim for multiple finishes, hitting multiple threes down the stretch, finishing with 6 in this game, and able to put the hockey assist through Al Horford into the corner after drawing 2 to get Drew Holiday the go-ahead shot to cap that run in regulation. Anthony Edwards ultimately tied this game at the free throw line after an unsuccessful Celtics challenge. It could have been the opposite of what we saw on Monday night, but just like Monday night, Tatum carried this offense for stretches. Just absolute dominance from him. And the one thing you love to see in this game, beyond the range of impact here for him, defense, rebounding, limiting turnovers, so the ball control against the different looks Minnesota threw at him, the aggressiveness. And Joe Mazzulla, I thought my biggest takeaway from this game was him talking about how the Celtics can get him to this level more consistently. Here's what he had to say about that.
Well, 2 things. One, I also want to highlight the fact when guys play really well on offense, they actually play really well on defense today too. And I thought his ability to match up with Karl Anthony Towns, especially in the first half, allowed us to have some other matchups. And so, again, not being defined by greatness, Jalen's defense, Jason's defense, Drew's. Tonight you saw like Drew being Drew, right? But to get back to Jayson, the most important thing is like the ball in your hands, in the spacing, making the right play, and playing with pace, playing with poise. Don't always have to go the same speed. And tonight you saw moments of screening in the first half, moments of ball handling in the second half, figuring out what the pick and roll coverage was, and then making the right play to that. And so I think he had a couple kickouts, a couple pin-ins for Al where he got the corner 3. So again, it's just not being defined by one thing, and it's dominating the game by understanding how what pitch do I need to use this quarter, this half, this game. And our guys are starting to recognize that, and I thought JT did a great job of that tonight.
So you're certainly not going to see 45-point Tatum every night, hitting all his shots and getting anything he wants out there. But there's certainly a capability to get him more involved and get him easier looks. The Horford screening late, Joe pointed to. And for Tatum, he talked about reaching a point where he feels like he knows that the Celtics need him to go off. And maybe it's just going to be about building that mentality and getting himself there more consistently, because there are times where he seems passive, where coverages are forcing him to get off the ball. But in this game, he was able to get to his matchups quickly and exploit them. Celtics fouled out Jaden McDaniels, his primary defender. By the end of the game, they fouled out Karl Anthony Towns, who he was defending for much of the night. And Joe pointed that out too, that Tatum's defense there allowed them to do some other things. So an impressive one. You know, you don't love to be a prisoner of the moment, but given the opponent, given the situation they were in late, and how unstoppable he played into the overtime, this is about as memorable and dominant a performance as I can remember from Tatum. He certainly had the 60 here against a bad Spurs team, or a mediocre one at that. Playoff performances, the Game 7s come to mind. But this one, as far as the regular season goes, probably jumps to my top. And that's impressive stuff. His three's going right now. He's getting to the basket at will. The free throw totals are high. He's doing it all right now, and now he has to do it on back-to-back nights after a 40-minute effort here. Celtics traveling to see the Bucks tomorrow. We'll have coverage of that in Milwaukee. We're about to head out there now. But for tonight, Celtics beat the Wolves 127-120. More reaction on CLNS Media from all the players, and more from Milwaukee tomorrow on Celtics All Access. Subscribe. I'm Bobby Manning. We'll see you there.
The NFL season is wrapping up, And there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.